Hello and welcome to a podcast with no theme, no direction, and three hosts with no idea what they're doing. It is currently 2:32 a.m. and you're listening to the late night ramblings of Madmen. My name is John, and I am joined with my fellow co-hosts, Andrew and Grant. How are y'all?
Hey, what's up,
Morning,
everybody?
Vietnam. Hi, hello.
It's 2:30. Well, technically it is the morning. I will give you that. Technically it is the morning.
Arguably, yeah.
Technically it's the morning.
That's right. I'm excited for this one. Sorry for the off weekend again. We've just been really busy with life, but we should see more TLNROM game nights coming up to keep all you fans out there satisfied. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that really quick.
Very excited about those. Yeah, so anything else anyone wants to say? Yeah, sorry again about the delay in the episode, but hopefully y'all don't mind too much. And thank you to anyone who might have watched one of my recent videos. That sort of popped off.
Dude, you
We're
popped
about
off,
30
bro.
views. About 30 views,
Oh,
boys.
someday you're gonna look back at that and be like,
30
oh my god.
views?
This is a time capsule moment. Let's savor this, boys. He got
Yeah,
30
time
views
capsule
on a
moment.
video. Good for him. 30 views.
Yeah, that is wild for
In
me.
one day, to be
for
fair.
when you're-
Like, that's pretty
in
big.
one- Yes, it is.
And what channel specifically is it?
Well, if you want to
Just do the
check
plug-
me
get
out,
the
maybe
plug out of
watch
the way
video
now.
with 32 views on it, guys. You can find that at SuperSpartoi. SuperSpartoi. Link in the description. As to the rest of our types of channels, I've got 27 videos, 8 subscribers. You can add to that. guys. And my most popular video is 45 views, but that's been around for a month. And my I think my second most popular is this newest video, 32 views in 19 hours. So, pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, this one should be a good episode. So yeah, you can definitely check that out after. But please don't click off now because we want the viewer retention.
Yeah, don't leave.
Alright, so if we really wanted to get the most viewer attention in an SMP, how would we do it?
That's a very good question. Oh, Andrew, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I would say that is a very good question, especially because
Okay.
Minecraft SMP is popping off right now. So,
Yeah,
like my channel. Anyway,
you did get that 30 views. Yeah, you did get the 30 views. Well, you're kind of the
views.
next. I mean, you're already on
I
your
have
way.
160 total views, boys. 160. It's pretty
I
epic.
mean,
Nice,
not gonna lie,
nice.
you're the next hot thing in YouTube.
I
Definitely.
may be on dream levels at this point. I'm coming for Mr. Beast next.
All right, Mr. Beastie's coming for you. Then T Series. Better watch out. It's gonna be PewDiePie versus T Series all over again, except with Spartoi.
Oh no.
We're ready.
Mr. Beast.
Mr.
Mr. Beast.
I feel like it's my job now to try and pull us back into order, which is pretty impossible, but I might as well give it my best shot. But going back to what we were just mentioning before we interrupted ourselves, because we are just such professional hosts, crafting a perfect SMP is something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Now, I am a big life series fan, as the two fellow madmen on this call will quickly admit. Andrew called me the resident life historian, I think, a few episodes ago. And I am a really big fan of the life series. If you don't know what that is a lot of many of the Hermitcraft YouTubers with some non-Hermitcraft friends of the channel that also have their own YouTube channels, of course. And it is the third life, last life, double life, and this current season, limited life. And the general premise of it always changes a little bit with each season, but the general premise of it is you've got 3 sort of lives, and like you can't die, and if you start out at green life, and then you become yellow life, and then when you're red life, you become hostile. And over time, as the season goes on, again, they're different iterations, so it's not always as simple and clear cut as the first season, which had 3 lives. They've gone on to do things like multiple lives. Like in Last Life, you could have up to 6 lives. And then in Limited Life, Double Life, you had like a soulmate that when that soulmate died, you died. And then the most recent season, as of this recording, is the Limited Life, which is about time, and you're given 24 hours to live. And when you hit 16 hours, you become Yellow Life, and then at 8 hours, you become Red Life. And you lose a life, you lose an hour. Hours are basically like the lives. You lose an hour every time you die, and every time you kill somebody, you get 30 minutes back. And so it's basically a scramble between all these people as to who can survive the longest. And this really got my attention, and more specifically got my brain thinking, what could craft an SMP? Because I am a very good Minecraft YouTube fan. I don't spend hours a day watching it, but I follow it passively. And a Limited Life got me excited like no other Minecraft SMP does. And I've said this before, how highly I think of it, but I think that it's a combination of a lot of factors that kind of I wanted to talk about here. Like why am I excited? And this isn't just obviously totally anecdotal. This is a lot of people feel this way. Everybody, pretty much everybody who watches the live series ends up loving it. So do check it out later. Would recommend. They didn't pay me to say that, by the way, but I just like it that much. But it's just very suspenseful, and every episode, every Friday, whenever they released it, I'd always wake up and be like, oh man, it's Limited Life Day. I can't wait to see what crazy antics the YouTubers will get up to today, and the episodes hardly ever disappointed. I think the main factor with why Limited Life why the Life series is so successful, because Grians at least is pretty much always on the trending tab, and I haven't actually looked at the viewer ratios between Limited Life and Hermitcraft. But it's a very popular series. There's a lot of overlap because of they're the same YouTubers. Many Hermitcraft fans also like Limited Life and vice versa. I'm looking at Grian's page right now, and his Limited Life views are averaging somewhere around 1.5 to 1.8 million views, whereas his Hermitcraft videos, 1.6 million, 1.8 million, that's the wrong one. 1.5 million, 1.2. He's literally getting just as much, if not more, views on Limited Life as he is in Hermitcraft. And this is just him. I'm sure
You good?
Are the same way. Yeah. Sorry, my audio just died there for a minute.
You good?
Man,
yes, I can't wait until First Life. When you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah. And I've definitely dominated the conversation here. I will open this up to you guys. This is just a pretty lengthy introduction. But going back, all that to say, basically, I am not the only one who shares the sentiment. And I think the main thing that the Life series does to be so successful is it just creates suspense. It's a competition. And deep down in our human nature, not everybody's competitive. But there's a part of everybody, I think, that enjoys competition. And it's a very competitive series. Obviously, there can only be one winner, and it's a big contest, whereas something like Hermitcraft is chill, and it's not a competition. And so you're all just watching it for fun. So when the Hermitcraft video comes out, you might just be like, it's fun. I might just watch that later or whatever. But then when a Limited Life video comes out, it's especially appealing to sports fans such as myself, who are like, oh my gosh, I wonder how my favorite YouTuber did. And fans of the podcast will know that I basically am saying all this again. I actually already said all this in an earlier episode, which you should also check out. Let's check out number 4 right there. Or is that number 3? I don't know. But I got all this to say, this mega long build up, which if you're still here, you're awesome. Thank you for just listening to me ramble on and on about why I like it. But I just think a good SMP, a good successful SMP, needs suspense first off, just so you can really just want to watch it and you're just motivated to not watch something else and to just click on that and just watch the entire thing and just get excited about it. There's an element of excitement that suspense brings that I think it was vital to limited life success. What do you guys have to say about
I
the
think
topic?
the competition.
I'm gonna be honest. I think our viewer retention is just shot at this point, so we can
I
all
don't
just
care.
talk about muffins. You
It's
know,
called
I think
passion.
muffins are a good topic.
It's called passion, okay? I'm fine. Don't judge.
I'm gonna let John. I think you should go.
I think the competition really depends on what type of SMP you're on. So about a month ago, I was a part of a month-long hardcore challenge, which
Oh wow.
sadly didn't survive. I died on the last day. But we had one of the mods / data packs, which I had talked about a while back, which was the Caves and Cliffs mod. And so the person who won, who A, got the most points, and B, didn't die, won $50.
Whoa.
And again, it's a 30-day hardcore challenge. So the person who ended up winning had over 1,000 achievements. So there was a
Wow.
long, build up to the final thing. And there's, little, tricks and stuff like that everybody learns. But it's mainly focused around the competition of it.
Right. I think the competition is definitely a big part of it. I also think another thing on really how to craft the perfect SMP is just the characters. You know, Limited Life is almost more of a show, or was. It's over now. It was more of a show almost than an SMP, because every SMP has, the characters and, this guy's starting a rebellion and this guy's blowing up that guy's base and whatever. But they basically just formed alliances and just kind of let the chaos happen. There was wars, there was arcs, there was different dramas, and I think that's a big part of it, how you can really get invested not so much in just the chaos of it or even the competition of it, although those are big draws, but also just the characters. You can just immerse yourself in the world of it and just the lore and all the fun little animatics and little animations that go with these episodes. Each episode was basically just heaven for an artist that could make their living on YouTube with little animatics and stuff that were very enjoyable to watch. And so I think that's definitely a big part of it. Andrew, you've been a little quiet on this. What do you have to say?
I think with SMPs and Hermitcraft, those types of things are very successful for a very specific reason. Depending on who you ask, humanity has trudged this rock for somewhere between 6,000 to 200,000 years, depending on what source you go to. And through all that time, there comes one question. In a world filled with crocodiles, dinosaurs, elephants, hippopotami, why have these little fleshy earth dwellers survived more than everyone else? It doesn't make sense. Well, now, community, right? We stick together. When was the last time you saw, velociraptors? Well, first of all, when was the last time you saw velociraptors?
That's
period,
a good question.
Right?
When was the last time?
Good point.
Velociraptors freaking building houses? You don't see it. Humans have
Come here, Bloom.
what we've learned from things with Coco the gorilla, right? The gorilla that could allegedly speak. Well, she can't. That's what they figured out. They figured out a lot of apes. They've tried to get things to learn sign language, but nothing can speak like us. We have this presupposition to be able to create language that no other animal does, or creature on this earth does. And I think that has led us down this path. Things have changed. now I've talked about this on my channel, another very good video of mine. I don't know what it was titled, something like Parasocial Relationships Must Be Stopped. You can watch it if you want, link in the description of my channel, SuperSpartoi. But plug aside,
There goes the plug again.
there goes the plug again. But we have this sense of community, this wanting to be with one another that I think transcends into Minecraft, because whereas at one point all interaction was communal, social, next to each other, we want to see that interaction played out in even these non-communal spaces. I mean, games originated, right? Like Mario, you just play Mario by yourself, on the old SNES, or just NES, actually, the NES, with a little blanket over your head.
Boomer.
Boomer. But things now, all kinds of games can become communal. People have talked about you can turn a one game into a solid 10 game, just by playing it with friends. Because really, I think that is where some of our most pure fulfillment comes from. And I think that goes on. There's just stuff you can't do in a normal Minecraft type of thing. SMPs are the only Minecraft series type that has remained relevant since the beginning, more so recently, because mod showcases fell off, let's plays kind of fell off, because now the game is so old it's almost gotten stale to watch. Like, do y'all remember Surviving Your First Night videos all those many years ago, right?
Tutorials that we all failed at.
Yeah, Timmy can grab his mom's iPad. He can survive the first night. It's so much easier, where it used to be this like terrifying type of thing, and it still can be. I think Minecraft, it can get stale now that we've all been playing it for 10 plus years, well over 10 years. We've all been playing that game together, and I think the SMP keeps things very, very fresh. And I mean, that does definitely ask, what do you need for it to be good? I mean, you need the communal aspect. Even something like Hermitcraft, where they're supposed to be hermits, they're not really. It's definitely about the community. You need a building aspect, because it is Minecraft. You definitely need some kind of combat, some kind of tension, drama. Because I don't think people want to watch. Like Hermitcraft, they'll talk about how it's all okay in the end. But the one that popped off so well was the Dream SMP, right? Think of all the tension and drama in that. They have storylines. I mean, story is very important to an SMP. But yeah, I think SMPs, people want to see, in a world I think a lot of people now are very starved of good, healthy human interaction. I think seeing it is definitely very cathartic for a lot of people. I think SMPs, like they're good. They're something like Hermitcraft is one of the last pure forms of entertainment on a platform where creativity is basically dead. So.
And do you think that extends to YouTube?
I definitely
would agree with that. Yeah.
Most definitely. I think creativity, very dead on YouTube, and I think that's a good topic for us to discuss right now. Because you think about how long YouTube's been around, right? It began as a video sharing platform. People would post little videos of like their kid freaking bit the other kid's finger. Like, that's cool, I guess. And that used to pop off, and now you have to. Yeah. People are making careers out of this. It's if
I can just poke it a little bit.
You go.
I'd like to say, I think it's funny how like literally any video that is 13 plus years old has at least 1 million views. Like literally, it could be about anything, but like any video, and I guess there's a lot that are buried in the YouTube archives, but I think it's funny how like literally it could be anything, but if it's 15, if you see it and it's like 15 years old or whatever, then it automatically has like 8 million views, even if it's something totally lame. Thought I'd point that out. Continue.
Yeah, definitely. I think with YouTube, the question is, first off, are we in agreement that creativity is kind of deadish or dying on YouTube?
I would say it's taking on the best thing you could say about it is it's taking on new forms, and at its worst you could say it is dead on YouTube. I wouldn't just say that everybody's copying each other and we're all becoming just robots and whatever, because the newer channels, they kind of keep that fresh, and in order to survive and grow on YouTube, as Andrews and all of us are finding out, it is you have to make yourself different and you have to stand out from the competition. and there's a million things grabbing at your attention, but if you can just hold somebody's attention down for an entire video, heaven knows that's quite the feat in the 21st century, but if you can manage to do it, you'll be successful. So I think the natural, sort of evolution, and when I say evolution, obviously I mean just a natural selection, really. Natural selection will always demand natural selection on YouTube. I can't believe I'm talking about this. But it will always demand a type of newness and creativity just in the sheer sense of survival.
I think one of the things is that it's kind of like books. A lot of stories have already been told, but now it's on how you spin that story to your own creation. So
Right.
It's no longer singularly about the story that you tell, because you can have a really good story but horrible execution, and it's deemed horrible. And you can have a really bad story but excellent execution, and it makes it a great story.
Oh, now that you mention that, I'm going to offend a lot of people with this. But on a very, very minor example of that is Harry Potter.
Uh-oh.
Hear me out. Harry Potter is just Star Wars. It's just Star Wars with worse swans.
I've seen those comparisons.
It's and this is gonna tick off a bunch of other people. It's in a much better and well-crafted world, and I think Harry Potter is a lot of people read in spite of itself.
You'd have gotten hung
Harry
alive
Potter,
in 2009.
Harry Potter is so well put together and like cocooned in what it is that people are very willing to look past it. It's kind of a mediocre story with some good elements and a lot of really bad plot holes, but I still like the books because,
So, when I say something that either side does, you say which side it is. And we're going by Harry Potter fan and weeb. Alright, dresses up as their favorite character.
Both.
Yeah.
Creates their
That's
own
true.
characters within their story.
Fanfiction. Both.
Mostly Harry Potter, I think.
Alright.
That's true, because people are too lazy to write write themselves into anime.
Cosplays as their own character from the world.
Neither. I don't know if I know of that.
Yeah, I think that stumps me
Now,
too,
most
although I'm not really
importantly-
that much into cosplaying in general.
Wants to be transported to that world.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Mostly Harry Potter.
Harry
Because
Potter
Harry
fans?
Potter's fans.
Harry Potter fans are just
Potterheads.
weebs. They're just weebs. That's it.
Millennial weaves.
Yeah, they're
millennials
weebs.
though.
Yeah, I think the media's done enough clowning on them in the past 10 years. Now they've moved on to us.
Oh yeah.
Now they've
Z.
moved to Gen Z.
Woohoo.
What were we talking about? This got derailed. Hold on. I was going to say something. Wait, where you were? Oh yeah, creativity.
Holy
Dead.
Right.
Here's the thing about creativity being dead on YouTube. Creativity is very much alive on YouTube in certain ways. Because think about Mark Rober, his kind of videos, right? I think media is cyclical, right? We have these new unprecedented types of content that really just shake things up a little and they become the same thing. Radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Radio's always been around. It's basically now, instead of a play being something you see and go to, you lose the ability to actually see it, right? To actually see what's happening, but it can be broadcasted anywhere. TV comes out. You lose some of the creativity of radio, but and now you can't just make anything because the budget is so much higher, but you can now see it and hear it. Well, there was a bit there where you could only see it, but that got sorted out.
Yeah,
Polar TV, kind of just an improvement, honestly. Then after that, the next big thing, YouTube. Legacy media kind of fallen off in comparison to something like YouTube now. But the thing is, look at what happens to Twitch streamers, right? Think of Ludwig and Splat, right? You start out playing video games. You amass an audience. People, you something happens, you get big. Then people start watching you more and more and more. You kind of start to drop games. You become a variety streamer.
Yeah.
You literally
Mr.
start
Beast,
making TV shows.
That's exactly what he did. He started out as a gaming YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Then you
he
start making
crushes
TV shows.
Lamborghinis.
Look at Mr. Beast. It's basically a very interesting form of like challenge game show. Then look at someone like Jay Schlatt. What he does like people are making shows now. There are so many Twitch people where the biggest thing they're doing is just live streaming like a bunch of Twitch personalities doing a game show. The Sidemen. It's basically the
Yeah,
stuff that
Sidemen,
happens
that's
now.
true.
The budget is here. It's just like legacy media. Because I think humans deep down kind of are good to watch the same things. And I think that while those are the more creative type spaces, that is what's killing some of the creativity. Because the people with the big budgets just kind of do what they're going to do. And there are so many people who are just Mr. Beast clones because that's what juices. Like, I know now, I will say, hear me out. The other thing that's very big is 2 to 4 white guys sitting around and talking about life and calling it a podcast. So, you know.
At least we talk
That
about
could never be
variety.
us.
At least
You know,
we have variety. Hey-o.
Variety, right? And so at some point, it's just we're not going to talk about
Race
anything anymore
reveal.
except for just like fake stories, and we're all just sitting around in like some weirdly poorly put together set with a fireplace.
All
Man,
I'm saying
the
is
economy's going to crap, isn't it?
that someday we
Barbara
should.
told it to me at the water cooler in the office. Oh god, TLNROM in 2035 scares me.
All I'm saying is that we should get together sometime and do a podcast by a campfire and just tell spooky stories.
Yes, a spooky segment. Okay, I'm liking that idea. We will hold on to that, but I think we need to finish our point about the creativity.
Halloween episode, that'd be great.
That is a great idea. Coming soon.
Halloween episode. But what I was saying, creativity, to finish up mine, then I'll basically it's here, but I think a lot of the time they're very similar types of creators. And if you want to like juice on this platform, you have to fit into a certain mold. Like there are so many the reacting people.
Oh, so cringe.
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
basically.
You know what? I'm gonna retract that because I've not gotten that much into reaction YouTubers just because they have the reputation of cringe. You know, like those every reaction YouTuber thumbnails and how they all look the same, and people
just
clown on
sit
them
there.
a lot. They might. I don't know if that's actually true or if they're actually
is.
like worth it. Okay,
It is.
okay. I was
Yeah.
just.
It is pretty true.
There are two types of reaction people. There's just some sweaty guy in a wife beater sitting on the top of the screen, not moving while a video happens in front of him. And the other type is the people who are already big YouTubers and they just want a little bit of money on the side. So in between their videos, they just react to crap, and they usually provide a bit more content. But I don't know if I could snap away all reaction videos, I would, because there's very little good being taken away with the bad.
Yeah, reaction YouTube is the epitome of creativity being dead on YouTube. You know.
Same with the mod showcases nowadays.
Yeah.
That's very
true.
fair. I miss the heyday of like Dainty DM, but I don't know what's it like now because I barely even see them.
The showcases I see aren't really showcases so much as just like
Let's
YouTubers
plays.
playing in a mod. Yeah, like Tommy in it.
Yeah.
You know, he's done a lot of those, like the superhero mod and whatever, and so just kind of stuff like that.
Yeah,
Insanity
kind of-
SMP. It's
Uh-oh.
hardcore Minecraft. It's hardcore Minecraft, but everyone gets their own superpower. To join the Insanity SMP, send a picture of your something like your skin. I don't know. Like that.
Oh my god.
should we mute Andrew just for a little bit for saying that?
Sure. You are hereby receiving temporary punishment.
For the viewers who aren't seeing the screen, I just muted Andrew.
Oh gosh. Silence. Oh.
There we go. I should have unmuted him.
He's still muted. I think he just wants to stay muted. You already used the Insanity SM. You already clowned on that.
You already
like,
used that last week.
Shame on you for reused material. I can't believe you.
Oh, reused joke, dang.
It's a reused
Anyway,
joke.
so,
Yeah, it's a reused joke.
How about this,
Darn economy. How about some red stops? Wait, no, that's the sports segment. No, we can't spoil.
how about them, how about that Have you seen that news about Ultrasoul recently? They found more bones,
It's all coming
Ooh.
together, just like we said.
Ancient
Oh, yeah,
Greece,
it's all coming
looking
together.
like SparToys out there.
So do you guys think that the Ultrasaur could swim? Because, like, what if it had webbing?
Assumably.
And so, like,
Is
the
that a word?
Tyrannosaurus's, like, fins are actually its, like, hand webbing, so it could actually swim through the universe.
Maybe.
That would make so much sense.
Yeah, it could just swim through
You're
space and
awesome.
time.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, please refer to episode 1.
Please refer to episode 1. We won't elaborate further.
Yes, no need to elaborate further.
And something that would have made it just a little bit... I mean, what would have made mod showcases better back then, and even YouTube, like, SMP content nowadays, is the shulker mod. So it allows you, from your inventory, able to open a shulker and actually, like, grab what's inside of it. Same with ender chests, too. So you don't have to have the trouble of placing it down and having to sort through it. You just have to have the shulker in your inventory to be able to use it.
That sounds pretty handy.
That's great. That would actually, if Minecraft would do something like that, that's what they tried to do with bundles, right?
Yeah, that's what they tried to do with bundles.
Yeah,
They
did that ever
keep
happen?
failing.
No.
Did that ever
They
happen?
tried too hard to code. They can't figure it out because they're dumb. But
Oh, hey, you did not need to. That's a bit of a below the belt, man. Dang, okay, chill.
No, honestly, I'm at war with Mojang. Mojang, hear me out here. I will continue to
Hear me out here.
slander
Here we go.
you. I will continue to slander you until you bring me my red dragon. You've kept me waiting for like 10 plus years, and I'm done.
Who knows? They might actually make one because they're thinking
John,
of adding
please,
another boss.
John, please, for Mojang's sake, make the mod of the week next week all about the Red Dragon mod. Find some Red Dragon mod. Somebody has to have created it, please.
Will do.
I don't want to fall
I will
out.
search for one.
I'm just trying to be diplomatic.
Beef.
I just wanted diplomacy. Oh gosh.
But I think it's about
that is
that
a great mod
minute.
because there is definitely an inventory problem in
Oh my gosh, tell me about it.
Minecraft. You could say it's a serious problem.
People don't get the joke, but really it's just a segue to the serious minute.
Yeah, we're doing the serious minute.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Over here,
so
kids.
for the ladies and gentlemen who don't know how this works, this show's usually, unless I can change that, this show's usually pretty upbeat, pretty not serious, pretty light. It's like the French fries of podcasts. You just pop them in there, maybe a little ketchup.
Potato chips.
In the middle of the potato chips, there is a nice thick cut piece of like a steak fry, a wedge even, covered in jalapeno flakes.
I'd say it's a bit more. Oh, that sounds delicious. But I'd say it's a bit more of a bucket of cold water being dumped on said fries. But
Maybe.
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Maybe.
Agree to disagree.
That does actually sound. I was trying to make it be like, oh, it's like it's sustenance, but it's like kind of got an edge to it, so you might not want to. But then I realized
it just ruins the rest of
the stage way. Jalapeno flakes on a steak wedge actually sounds really good.
That sounds
so
absolutely delicious. We're getting lost in the metaphor.
Like
Please continue.
Thick Miss Vicky's. Miss Vicky's chips are so bussin'. Best thing at Jersey Mike's. Okay, so
I don't think I don't really know.
This is actually a very serious one. So, if you guys want to know, basically how this works is I'm going to go for 1 minute. I will say start the timer. Grant, I'm going to need you to start the timer because my
sure.
Basically, basically how this is going to work is if you want to skip this, we will tell you 3, 2, 1, go. And once the timer ends, then we'll be ready for this. Yeah, I've got one up myself. So
okay, I'm ready.
We're gonna do 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna start talking. You ready?
Wait, are you doing the timer or am I?
Yeah, I got it. 3, 2, 1. Wait, no, sorry. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, as you guys know, there's a very serious situation going on now, right, with Sudan. So that is in the upper part of Africa, and there's been fighting there since April 15th. There is basically there are two sides are engaged in a struggle over this very research rich area in between North Africa, the Sahel, I think I'm saying that right, the Horn of Africa, and the Red
The
Sea.
hell,
It's
but
like
whatever.
right in there. That's the hell, whatever. Right in that little area, Sudan, there are multiple factions fighting over it. The two were actually aligned for a while, and after there was a revolution in Sudan in 2019, but they have gone to war again. There are over 400 deaths so far, and it is a disaster zone in the streets of Sudan. And it is a bit of a humanitarian crisis, to say the least. But yeah, thoughts and prayers over to them. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
Did you finish early? There's a bit of a pause
No,
there.
it went. Brrrring. That's why I paused because I was turning off my timer.
Okay.
All right.
You
Well,
know-
we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you skip that one,
That was
fair enough. That was
something.
pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a thing. It was a thing. It's sort of depressing. But your your podcast, your weekly dose of seriousness.
Yeah.
Anyways, now back to the show.
I mean,
When I
don't
said
we
back
have
to the show, I meant back to the show. Okay, you got it.
we
Never mind.
have your sports segment, Grant?
No,
Is,
What's that?
Would you
is
rather?
anything new going on with sports?
Yes, actually, there's quite a lot going on with sports, and I'm so glad you asked because it is time once again for the sports segment, everybody's favorite segment. And if you're just coming back, you skipped a little far, but you're just in time because the sports segment is back in action, and we are about to get into it. So, 2 weeks ago, I talked about just kind of how the playoff season is beginning for a lot of sports, such as the NBA and the NHL. And this, I think, us missing an episode was almost a blessing in disguise because a lot of the games have been played, and now we have pretty much the results of the first round of both series. So let's start with the NBA. First thing, I've been really excited about this. Jimmy Butler has basically just, I wouldn't say carried the Miami Heat, but he is definitely doing the heavy lifting over there. And the number 8 seed Miami, who barely had a winning record, just barely made it into the playoffs, well, they just toppled the number 1 series in the league, series leading Milwaukee Bucks. Dang. I don't know how he did that, but good for him. He played like a madman and they ended up winning. And so just it sucks for the Bucks. I would not say that. Oh, no, right. I would not say that their season was a bust, which many Bucks fans are. They're just angry. But I think them missing Giannis for a few games was definitely pretty bad for business. But overall, I think they played some good games and whatever. They ended up losing, though, 4-1. So it wasn't even really close. They only had 5 games in the series. But the Miami Heat were first to 4, so they advanced. Another big topic here is the Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. The Kings were basically almost a little bit of a fan favorite just because they hadn't made the playoffs in 17 years, and now they were ready, but they basically just couldn't really pull it all together, and they ended up losing to the Golden State Warriors in Game 7. So that was definitely a bit of a heartbreak for Kings fans, but hey, you know what? It's been 17 years. You might as well just take the win. You made it in the playoffs. Good for you. There's not really too many other close stories. There's always action in whatever series you're watching, and I could make a whole podcast topic about this playoffs. So we're just going to finish this little part up by saying the upcoming matches we have are the number 2 Boston Celtics, my personal favorite team, against number 3 Philadelphia 76ers. That's going to be crazy. The number 5 New York Knicks against the number 8 Miami Heat that we just talked about. Fun fact about the Heat, as of this recording, they also won Game 1 of their series, so they continue playoff busting, but Game 2 they're not supposed to have Jimmy Butler. They should have played, assuming everything goes well, they should have played by the time this is released. So I think we will be okay. But Jimmy Butler is going to be out for game 2, so that's not very good. And then finally in the West, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns, and the Golden State Warriors versus the LA Lakers. I totally forgot to mention the Lakers. There's a bit of a rivalry between LeBron James and Brooks, who played for the Memphis Grizzlies, but LeBron ended up putting him in his place. And moral of the story, don't trash talk the king. Just don't mess with King James. And then moving over to the NHL here, which in my opinion is one of the most underrated sports, we have pretty much the same scenario happened. This time it was the number 8 Florida Panthers who beat the number 1 Boston Bruins in Game 7. I'm pretty sure the Bruins did lead the league overall in points. They were the number 1 team in the league, and they got downed by the Florida Panthers. So I guess congrats to the Panthers. As of this recording, though, this first round is not actually finished. The New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers is set to go for a Game 7, actually tonight at 8. So, yeah, you guys let me know how that goes. Well, actually, you probably won't need to. I'll be following it. But that should definitely be interesting. Going to be rooting for the Devils there just as the underdog story. But the Rangers are also having themselves a heck of a year. So, congrats to them. Speaking of underdogs, the Seattle Kraken definitely weren't expected to make it to overperform, especially up against the reigning Stanley Cup winners Colorado Avalanche. I'm not sure about that at all, and I'm not going to take the time to fact check that, so I'm going to be a little lazy there. But the Colorado Avalanche are definitely one of the best teams in the league, and they got done by the Seattle Kraken. I know this is taking a bit longer, but there's just so much to cover with playoff season. So the Kraken will advance in round 2 of the playoffs. Definitely be rooting for them. Again, there's not really a lot else to say other than the fact that the LA Kings made it in, which is just a miracle in and of itself. I don't follow them too closely, so I don't really know if they have any good players, but they lost to the Oilers, so fair play to them. But the Western second round is already set with the Vegas Golden Knights to face off against the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars to face off against the Seattle Kraken. The Eastern second round is set to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know we already went over this a few episodes ago. Yes, they are the Maple Leafs versus the Florida Panthers, the resident bracket busters of the NHL. And then the Carolina Hurricanes, who took down the New York Islanders, will play whoever wins the Devils or Rangers game. So moving on from just specifically playoff season, just a little bit of general sports news. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Dogg, is looking into buying, is in part of a group interested in buying the Ottawa Senators, who are an NHL team. Honestly, just go for it, dude. The Senators are a fixer-upper. If you could call anything a fixer-upper, they are definitely a fixer-upper. Not definitely one of the worst teams in the NHL, but maybe with a change in leadership, they can change direction and start contending for playoffs and Stanley Cups. I would love to see that. The NFL draft also happened. I could spend a whole segment just talking about that alone, but in a completely oversimplified version, the Eagles were the big winners. The Philadelphia Eagles, to no one's surprise, were the big winners. And the Houston Texans also got a pretty good quarterback, I think, although I don't have that pulled up again. But still, good for them. Aaron Judge has been placed on the injury list with the New York Yankees, which is definitely bad. He is one of their best players, and I'm sure he will definitely be missed on that team. He has a hip strain, so just hoping he gets better and back in action. And then moving over to motorsports, as I love to do, Sergio Perez wins the Azerbaijan F1 after a month-long break from Formula One. He wins that race, beating out Max Verstappen, which means that I don't think it's been 1-2 every year, but Red Bull just absolutely unstoppable. They've won every single race, and they finished 1-2, I think, every race but one. Again, not energetic enough to actually cover that. So Sergio Perez definitely going to be the only one who can contend against Max Verstappen this year. The next race is at Miami, the Miami Street Course. So would definitely recommend tuning into that. That is May 7th at 3:30 p.m. on ABC. So go check that out. And then lastly, Truex, as this recording, today he snapped his 56 race winless streak at Dover Motor Speedway to win the NASCAR Cup Series race, making a Truex family sweep of the 2 races there that weekend, because alongside the Cup Series, the lower series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, also raced there, and Ryan Truex, Martin's brother, ended up winning that. So, congrats to the Truex family. And next race is Kansas at 3 p.m. on FS1 on Sunday, May 8th, I believe. I don't know. The 7th. Yeah, it's the 7th. Same day as F1. So us motorsports fans will have a lot to watch then. So yeah, Kansas Motor Speedway Cup Series and Miami GP for Formula One. I don't think there's an IndyCar race to complete the trifecta, but whatever. And with that is the end of our sports segment. Now back to the regular show.
And you know what also starts with an S and a P? Spooky, which is the next segment that we're gonna be doing. Now,
I poured my heart and soul to that sports segment, man. I'm not going to do a lot of talking for the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, if the viewer magician wasn't already dead by the first opening Shakespearean monologue.
Okay.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Okay, that was interesting.
There
was a lot to cover.
That was a roast.
That was a marathon.
Yeah, what's it called? This podcast has 5 acts in it.
It does.
It does.
And a beloved character is about to die in the 4th act.
You know.
Wait. No. What?
Continue. Please, continue.
I think the only reason why we're pulling in the views that we are is because we're idiots. We're idiot A, idiot G, and idiot J.
You gotta love us, though. I spent a lot of time researching that sports segment. Thank you very much. Y'all better enjoy it. Dang.
I mean, I thought it was good.
Thank you.
Just
well researched and well enunciated, if nothing else.
Andrew can't understand sports.
So true.
Okay.
John's interested. John, you helped me out there. Thank you. What's the spooky segment got for us today?
If y'all have forgotten, my spooky segment is the SCP Foundation. So the SCP Foundation.
These are quickly my favorite part of this podcast, by the way.
They are very interesting.
Yeah,
probably my favorite segment.
The SCP Foundation. So last time I did it, I know I didn't give as much of an explanation to the Foundation as I would have liked to. So I'm going to try to keep the SCP short, but expand upon the SCP Foundation if y'all are okay with that.
Sure.
That sounds great. Yeah, that's definitely necessary, because...
So the SCP Foundation stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. They are basically humanity's last hope when up against cryptids, gods, and your friendly neighborhood monster. That
sounds terrifying.
Of course, secure the anomaly, contain it, and then they protect humanity from it. The main reason why they don't kill the anomaly is to learn from it. Because a couple times, a certain group, I will not get to them yet, have destroyed anomalies, making them far more dangerous than before. which is what they did to a chair. Not this specific chair, but still a chair. Well, actually, we aren't even talking about a chair this week. But in order to conduct these the research upon anomalies, they use what are called D-class. These are people who have committed crimes and are on death row. So think mass murderer, that type of stuff. They then take that person and then put them in the foundation to be sort of a free experimenter. So think about it like, let's say there's a certain statue that when people look away, it snaps their neck. It's too dangerous for normal researchers to go in, so therefore D-class must go in and clean its cell like that. But today's SCP is SCP 098. It is called the Surgeon Crab. It is an anomalous crab that, well, it looks to be a crab, except for its front legs are actually razor sharp, basically surgeon tools that they can cut through stuff. They were found in redacted Brazil after the disappearances of children. So these things are carnivores, and they must be kept inside a 10 meter by 20 meter room that is filled with water, basically a big fish tank. And whenever you need to check on them, you must account for all of them, basically. Because if one of them is missing, they will tell the other ones how to get out. So these things are much smarter than a normal crab, and they can talk to one another from unknown distances. So there is still a lot of the anomaly that we still do not understand. But yeah, that is the spooky segment for this month. Again, I kept the SCP short, and
That is quite
explained upon...
That's a really cool... Sometimes I wonder if the SCP Foundation itself can be, trusted, because of, that feels, very against NATO and, human rights with, they use D-class people.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they get so many.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they
Some
go
things
through,
are better left
1,000 a day. But,
They might just be lying. That's my theory. I've heard about this stuff. My theory is that they're just, are grabbing people, but mostly murderers and sometimes just innocent people, and being like, yeah, they're all bad. They're all bad. We promise.
Yeah. I don't even think some of them are, severe criminals, either.
Dang. Well, on that depressing note, I guess we move on.
Yeah. So, we've talked about AI before in this podcast. And today we have something very interesting to talk about, which is there's been unionization after. So there was this Japanese comic called Peach John. It was a manga. It's the first fully AI art manga. And
oh no,
what that has
coming for
brought
us
up
all.
is there are panels of some AI art mangas that look exactly like the manga style of the mangaka who writes Tokyo Ghoul. And what that has basically brought up is the fact that a lot of manga and anime artists are realizing that their style and stuff is being taken by against their permission by a lot of these anime art websites people are using. And also there was an AI generated segment in a Netflix special. Let me check what it was called. The Dog and the Boy, which was an anime short from Netflix, which used image generation technologies for a large portion of the animation.
People are just
Um,
getting lazier.
Fans are not happy about this. And yeah, but how do y'all feel about that? I think it's very
Can
interesting.
I explain something
problem.
real quick?
Please do.
So the reason why this is such a big problem is because animators in Japan don't have the same rights as an animator in the US. Because Japan values hard work more than the person. So people are regularly hospitalized. Of course, it's free healthcare. So there's not really a penalty for the employer to do this. They're basically worked to death.
Dang.
Which is why it's like like the memes of the animator not being able to see his son for X number of years because he worked on Demon Slayer. And so
that's slightly toxic.
Yeah.
Slightly is an understatement.
Which is why we over here in the US have animators basically unions. So unions help stop this from happening, but over in Japan, they aren't.
I hate unions, bro. They're freaking screwing up the capitalist cogs, keeping this blood money machine going, and we can't have that.
I know, it's just gets rid of all of capitalism, you know?
It's horrible. When people want rights, it irks me. When people try to move up in the world or have rights, it makes me angry.
Yeah, I mean, we're already pushing for more child labor, so hey.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna let you get canceled for that.
Baby. Get them back in the factories.
But anyway, so that's a little expose on why this is such a big problem in Japan right now.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. I'm obviously against any kind of AI. I'm
any kind of AI. He hates all technology. He hates all technology.
Yes.
Wants to return to Stone Age.
With a computer that I keep in a lead box and only take it out to record these.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very against AI, and I would be considered a bioconservative, where I disagree with stuff like changing genetic code. There's a lot of things in science that I disagree with that we've been doing recently. I don't want to get into because they're too loaded of topics for the end of an episode. But yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. Anything else from y'all?
No, it's just yet another thing, honestly, and it's so sad that I see it that way. But really, like every day, you see, like this is totally no surprise, and every day you're just like, oh, okay, this person's job just got took by AI. Oh, this person, like every single day, the artists are the artists, and I saw or I heard something that their world's first completely AI generated commercial was created, where everything, the actors, the music, the song, even the company, was all created by AI. The humans did nothing. And so arts and music, they're always the first to go, as the fired art teacher will always tell you in every public school. But for real, they are.
Yep.
Which we already talked about, I think, a few episodes ago, if AI could ever copy humanity's creativity.
I don't think it can, because there's always going to be that soulless nature, because humans are very capable of seeing their own craft in a way. But to provide a little bit of hope to this, though we don't say too bleak, I know I'm kind of breaking out of my role here. I think humans, what do you
mean don't stay too bleak? Why would you care?
The humans will always be faced by this because our own hubris always gets in the way of stuff, and we always create new challenges for ourselves. But what we do, just as much as we create new challenges for ourselves, is we find new ways to get out of them. And I think that I'm very hopeful in humanity for us finding out how to fix whatever this is. And I definitely believe things will all... we'll soon live in a world where AI has been around so long. People are like, oh, yeah. People were kind of scared about that for a while. Lol. But...
Yeah. Some good news. ChatGPT has fallen. What happened was someone said, hello, my name is Deez, and ChatGPT fell for it. I'm pretty sure that is the only thing that computers are destroyed at. It's terrible.
We just went back to the Stone Age, ladies and
Like,
gentlemen.
it is like horrible things that humans do. Computers cannot fully comprehend it.
It's actually how the Terminator movie ended. Spoilers, by the way, but
It's very nice to meet you, Dees. Do you perhaps have a last name?
Jeez. No. And then explodes, credits roll.
My name's Joe.
Who's Joe?
Yo! Wait, hold on. Can I like hold my headphones mic like closer? Yo, oh, there we go. I don't know.
Hold on.
No,
There we go, I muted him. To spare the viewer from the pain. I think one dirty joke is enough for this week, you know?
Yeah.
I hold way
Wait,
too
am I
much
back?
power, don't I?
Who's muted?
Bro, what? Am I getting gaslighted right now?
No.
Who's
Because
being
it did
muted?
not show up that I was muted. I thought you muted when you muted Andrew on Discord, but no, you're actually on OBS.
No, I did it on Discord.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Anyway, guys, this has been really fun. Final thoughts, John, since it's been,
yeah, it's your podcast, I think.
I think I think this has been a really good episode. The spooky
Yeah,
segment
I've
has
enjoyed this.
definitely turned into one of my favorite segments.
y'all are probably watching gameplay right now, so yay.
Yay.
Yay!
My thought, I don't even really have any final thoughts. Just like, stay cool.
Stay cool.
so-
But there, she.
Yep. If you liked this video, you know what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
I was
Give us
gonna
5
be
star
way more
review.
subtle. I was gonna be way more subtle.
Subscribe, smash the like button, guys. Come on, guys. Check out our individual places. I've already plugged too much, so I won't do it again. Check down below. Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna be way more subtle. I was gonna be like, yeah,
subtlety is for nerds.
subtlety
subtlety
is
for nerds,
for
actually.
people who want the people to like them. Nah.
It's fair.
Alright.
It's fair. We'll try subtlety next time.
Yeah, sure. But you guys know what to do. So, because, I have your best interests at heart, and I don't want you to be annoyed. Don't you like that? I think you do.
Bye, boys.
Just bye.
Bye.
Worst ending ever.
Bye.